from England. And the opening tip controlled by the Hornets. There's another player from England as well on the, another big guy from England on the Eagles roster. In watching college basketball this year, a lot of colleges went to England and got big players from England. Centers and tall forwards. So interesting. Here's Fowler, opening possession of the game. Fowler with only 7 on the clock, tries to lean his way in now. Fadeaway jumper is too strong, no good. Rebound comes down to the Eagles. Eastern Washington with their first possession. Going from right to left as I view it, opposite for those of you watching on ESPN television. They will be shooting in the first half in front of the Hornet bench. Still outside on the perimeter, now they get it into the post. In deep with it, a little double clutch shot, and the shot no good, but a Hornet foul. Ethan Price missed the basket. Price will go to the free throw line. It is a shooting foul, and Wilbon will pick up the first foul of the game for the Hornets as the double clutch shot would not go. Price, a 69% free throw shooter, had 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in the team's first meeting on January 20th. His first free throw is good. 50 seconds into the game, and the first point on the board for the Eagles. Second free throw on the way. This one twice off the rim and no good. Komagum with the rebound for Sacramento State. Fitzpatrick with the ball. Leads it to Wilbon, who's wearing two-tone shoes. Lime green on the outside, or highlighter green. Here's his jump shot, more important. Off the back heel, no good. And then they're a darker green on the inside. Very interesting shoes. Shot was no good off the back heel. Hornets missed the jumper, and it's 1-0 Eastern Washington. Eagles try and pass it cross court with the ball. Acleese. And Acleese the third is a big scorer against the Hornets. As the shot scores in the paint, though, watch out for Price. He made the free throw. Now he makes the first field goal of the game. Ethan Price. Acleese had 13 against the Hornets in the first game, also had 8 rebounds. But he's from nearby Richmond, California, just about an hour and a half to the west of us. Here's a lob in for Komagum. Underneath the basket for Sacramento State. Hornets still haven't scored. We're just about 2 minutes into the game. Fitzpatrick drops it on the low block to Komagum. Komagum dribbles, stops his dribble, turns around with a hook shot. Rim and in the air, no good. Back rim. Hornets have had a couple off the back rim to start the game. 3-0, Eagles with the lead and with the ball. Dribble penetration, kick out pass to the left side. 3 ball on the way. Air ball way long, no good by Acleese. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be Eagle basketball. As Eastern Washington have been able to get the ball into Price for all 3 of their points so far, and they keep the possession, enter it far side of the floor on the baseline. Now here's a running right-hand shot, which is very good. Sweet bucket there by Allegri. Allegri, the senior from Kansas City, Missouri, averages 12 points a game. He has 62 three-pointers on the season. That was a one-handed kind of pass shot that he was able to knock down to make it 5-0. And Fitzpatrick bombs in his first 3 of the night. Fitzpatrick had 4 in the Hornets' last ball game. That was his 64th of the season for William Fitzpatrick. He makes the score 5-3. Eagles with the lead. Long ball 3, no good. Hornet rebound. Miss was by Ventures. Hornets have it in the front court, right side of the floor. Fowler takes it, 360 spin move to the bucket, puts it up and in. So Bryce Fowler gets on the board, and we're deadlocked at 5. So the Hornets have scored the last 5 points to tie the game. Entry pass in deep, slam dunk. Wow, that got in deep on the Hornets, and Ethan Price, the freshman, dunks it with 2 hands to make it 7-5 Eagles. Small crowd on hand behind us here on the near side. It's the weekend, and our student population did not make it. It doesn't appear to this ball game. They were here in force on Thursday night. So if you can hear me, come out here, students. Here's Fowler throwing across court. Open look from the corner. Chappelle, back rim no good. Rebound to the Eagles. Eagles dominated the Hornets in rebounding on the first meeting between these teams and won the ball game. Dribble drive to the hoop, all the way to the bucket, and off the glass and good. Easy basket again for Bergerson. Rylan Bergerson, who had 15 against the Hornets. He's from Boise, Idaho, leading assist man on the Eagles. Eagles up by 4. Chappelle stops, fires up a floater, no good, too strong. Rebound by the Eagles. Eagles want to run with it. Lead pass up the right side of the floor. Venters now to the corner for the three. No good short. Rebound Hornets after the miss by Bergerson. Fitzpatrick has it for the Hornets. Top of the key, now takes off toward the bucket, throws up an awkward shot as these Eagles are 1 of 2 from the line. This is the Hornets' first free throw attempt from William Fitzpatrick, a 65% free throw shooter. And I was looking down, and I think that ball was short of the front rim as I saw the look on the eyes of Jordan next to me, their Sac Hornet newspaper writer, and he's looking like he just ate a lime. So that was an air ball, and now Fitzpatrick makes the second free throw, and he gets 1 of 2 to make it 9-6. So, want to see Fitzpatrick shooting those threes tonight. Cleese with the ball. Cleese with the glasses. If you're trying to recognize him by number 20 that he's wearing, if you're watching on TV, on the radio, just a visual. Here's a right-handed hook shot in the paint. So Eastern Washington's shooting in the paint. That was Allegri with the bucket. They're getting in too deep on the Hornets with these shots. And the buckets have been easy. There's even been a dunk. So now they have 8 of their 11 points in the paint. 1 from the line and then that running one-hander. Fowler with the ball underneath the basket for the Hornets. Over to the right corner, swinging around. Wilbon, Fitzpatrick, deep three, line drive, no good. Skids, pinches itself between the back rim and the glass and then falls off. 11-6, Eagles with the ball and the lead. They lob it in deep again, and Cleese with the shot, no good. Rebound by Comagoon. Hornets have the ball. Wilbon front court for the Hornets, left wing outside the arc. Gets the high screen, rolls around it, delivers a pass to the right to Chappelle. Chappelle to Fowler. Fowler to the paint, falls down, gets the ball back out to Wilbon. Wilbon to the baseline, scoops it back out for Fowler, who stops and guns up a three. Good, bottom of the net for Bryce Fowler. Fowler came into this game with 1,429 points in his Hornet career. One of less than 10 players to get to 1,400 in Division I. And here's a dribble drive to the bucket, and again, too deep into the paint for the Eagles. That bucket was made by Steele Venters from Ellensburg, Washington, averaging 17 a game. He drove to the hoop and scored it. 4-point lead for the Eagles, 13-9 the score. Wilbon for the Hornets goes to the top of the key again. Now backs back out to Fowler. Fowler guns up a three, same spot, different result, no good. Rebound to the Eagles. Venters with the rebound. Venters in the front court. Near side pass to the wing. Tough handle on it. Getting rid of it was Bergerson. And now in the paint again, but the Hornets this time pick it clean and knock it away. Fowler ends up with a good steal for the Hornets. They have to deny those entry passes, and here comes Fowler around Comagoon. Backs his way in, gets in tight, spins one way, kicks it back out Chappelle. Chappelle drives, stop, jump pass out to Wilbon. Wilbon bounces it in for Comagoon. Comagoon back out to the three-point arc, touch pass over to Wilbon for three on the way, misses right and long, and the rebound out to the Eagles. So the Hornets not shooting well here in the early going as the Hornets can't hit from downtown. And now into the paint again. The Eagles get it in deep. The shot no good, but the end of his first year of being the Hornet head coach. And the free throw on the way, good. Leaning into the paint was Bergerson knocking it down. Bergerson from the home of the Big Sky Tournament, which will take place in Boise, Idaho, and will begin on March 8th with the women. March 9th, the men begin the tournament, and it goes all the way through the weekend. 14-9, second free throw no good. Hornets have the ball, trailing by 5. Sacramento State was also down 5-0 to start the game. Rick Barros III is checked into the game, wearing number 3 for the Hornets. And also Hugo Clarkin, the big 7-footer down on the low block for the Hornets, who had 4 blocks in the last ball game, his best performance of the year. Here's Fitzpatrick from 3, and he knocks it down for Sacramento State. So Fitzpatrick gets a corner 3, his second of the game. And Fitzpatrick also made a free throw, so he leads the Hornets with 7 points. Fowler has 5 for the Hornets. 3 by Venters is good. And Venters builds the lead back up to 5, countering the Hornets 3 with his own. 12-13 to go here in the first half. Fowler into the front court for the Hornets. Hugo Clarkin on the low post for the Hornets. To the right side to Barros III. Fitzpatrick, touch pass over to Fowler. Fowler takes it toward the paint along the baseline, kicks it over to the right corner, 3 on the way. It's Fitzpatrick, and he knocks it down. If he gets hot, look out. Eastern is going to have to really guard him close. Almost all of his shot attempts on the season are from three-point range. Literally 90% of them, so that's his spot. Shot no good, short, missed by Venters. Rebound, Hugo Clarkin. Hornets have it back, and they trail by just 2 now after having several 5-point deficits. Fitzpatrick stops, has wide open Fowler, instead tries to get it to Clarkin. Clarkin doesn't get it. It's stolen by the Eagles. Into the front court for the Eagles, all the way to the bucket. Kick-out pass to the corner, a bad one, and it goes out of the extra 3. He has 3 threes with 10 points to lead the Hornets. Fowler with 5 points. On the other side, 5 for Venters, 5 for Price. Allegri with 4 for the Eagles. Wilbon lobs it to Fowler, and it's poked out of his hands and out of bounds. It'll still be Hornet ball over there. Tight defense way outside on the wing by the Eagles. Eagles are going to bring Price back into the game. He had gone out for a minute. He will be joined on the floor by number 31, Casey Jones, coming in off the bench. The freshman from Washington averages 3 points per game. He had 7 rebounds in the first meeting against the Hornets, Casey Jones. Fowler left wing. Fowler with 8 on the clock, drives toward the baseline and gets fouled, a reach-in foul. Not a lot of fouls in this game, just 2 on the Hornets, and that'll be the second Eastern Washington foul. Non-shooting foul, so the Hornets get a new 20 seconds on the shot clock, and Hugo Clarkin will pass it in. Clarkin gets it into Fowler, who immediately gets double-teamed. Gets it into Clarkin. Oh, Clarkin could have gone to the bucket, but now he backs his way into the bucket, goes up with the lefty hook, no good, very short. Wilbon gets it, saves it, throws it off the Eagles, and keeps the possession for Sacramento State. So the Hornets get another opportunity. And one of the Eagles, Ethan Price, was standing out of bounds, pretending like it was Eagles ball. Throw over to the corner, wide open there. No one on that side of the floor except William Fitzpatrick. Leaving William Fitzpatrick as the only man on one side of the court is a brutal error by the Eagles. He's already made 3 threes, that's his 4th. And now a 3 attempt for the Eagles coming back the other way, and a foul on the Eagles going for the rebound. The Hornets have taken their first lead of the game, 18-17. I know sometimes you give somebody an open 3, but not Fitzpatrick ever, and especially not when he's now knocked down 4 out of 5 3-point attempts. So a mistake cost the Eagles their lead, which was 5 several times, and now the Hornets by 1. Fowler behind the back, takes the dribble, spins, goes up with a righty shot, no good. And now the ball loose, picked up by the Eagles. Lead pass up the floor, a 1-on-2. Let's see if they try and get it. Here's Venters waiting for his teammates. A lot of scrambling around going and a whistle, and I didn't see what happened. I was obstructed. It's going to be a foul against Bryce Fowler. So that's Bryce Fowler's first personal foul. And Fowler doesn't like it. He doesn't complain that much. Again, the Hornet player with the most games ever played in Division I, or most games ever played for a Hornet, because he had the 5 years. Oh, no! No, you thought leaving Fitzpatrick on one end was bad? How about leaving big number 10, Ethan Price, wide open under the basket with no one in the paint? 2-hand jam. And that gives the Eagles back the lead. So a couple defensive lapses, 1 on each side. Or let's just say 2 great offensive plays, to be nice. Here's Chappelle. Chappelle for Barros the third. High arcing rainbows, no good. Short, and an over the back call is going to go against Hugo Clarkin. So that's the 4th team foul on the Hornets with 9:40 to go in the first half. Eagles will enter it in the backcourt, leading by 1. Eagles won their last game. They've won 4 out of their last 5. Perimeter passing for Eastern Washington. Now they try and drop it in on the block. Good pressure. Oh, no, and a little cutter. Oh, to the basket and an easy bucket. So Eastern Washington working the ball nicely. And number 31, Casey Jones with the basket, the freshman, to make it 21-18 and a 3-point advantage for the Eagles. Fitzpatrick looking for Clarkin, gets it to Clarkin. Pretty far from the basket for the center to go try and score, but he takes it in there. He puts up a wild hook that goes off the glass. Was he trying to go glass with the left hand there? I don't know, but he made it, so let's give him credit. So now Eastern Washington with the drive toward the bucket. Little scoop shot, no good off the rim. Return shot is good for the Eagles. And the scorekeeper put the wrong basket up on it's good on the TV side. 23-20 is our score. two wrong baskets on the official scoreboard. 2 wrongs made a right. Wilbon, pass fronted and knocked away, but retrieved by Fitzpatrick of the Hornets. Nearly a short-range interception, kind of like a lineman in football picking off a quarterback pass. Fitzpatrick with the jump shot, no good. It was a 2. He needs to stay out at 3-point range for his success. 23-20 our score. Eagles with the ball. Bergerson up top, swing it to the right side. And now down low pass, stolen by the Hornets, but taken back by Eastern Washington, back out to the arc. Near side angle pass. Magnuson is into the game. Stocky number 55 at 6'2", 190. Drive toward the hoop and a foul on Wilbon. That was a big time charge toward the basket. If your name ends with Son or Sen, you're from Boise. But anyway, Ellis is a 6'2" player in there, and first free throw is good for Casey Jones. Jones knocks down the first. He averages 3 points a game, had 5.7 rebounds against the Hornets last time, and his second foul shot is no good. Rebound Comagum, 4-point advantage for the Eagles. Hornets with the ball. Fowler into the front court for the Hornets. Chappelle on the wing. Chappelle to the top of the key, stops his dribble, looks for Fitzpatrick, has to give it up for Fowler outside the arc. Comagum setting up down low. Comagum coming out for the high screen. Fowler goes around it. Now all the way inside. Kick out pass to the left to Chappelle. Chappelle drives into the paint. Back out for Fitzpatrick. Off balance 3. Good anyway. Well, this is Fitzpatrick's night. How do you like that? Last time he'll be playing on this floor, and he has 16 points already on 5 3-pointers for William Fitzpatrick. 5 out of 6 from downtown. He brings the Hornets back to within 1. Jones drops it into Price. Price double teamed. Yep, the Hornets aren't going to let Price dominate down there. Fowler nearly gets a steal. Ball saved by Magnuson. And now a 3 on the way from Price's. Well, it went out of bounds. Last second save effort by Allegri, but it was already out of bounds. They'll go back to the Hornets as Rick Barros III checks back into the game for Sacramento State. And now Fitzpatrick leaves it for Fowler. Hornets down by just 1 with the ball. The Hornets had taken an 18-17 lead. They've trailed almost the entire game by as many as 5 points. Chappelle stops and fires from 3. Got it. Bottom of the net for Chappelle. He can get hot as well. In fact, the first meeting between these teams, he had 17 points. Had a big game to lead all scorers for the Hornets. Tonight, he hasn't gotten anything going yet until that 3. That was his first bucket of the game. Eastern Washington tries to lob it in deep, but 2 defenders there. Pass thrown back out and saved. Now still swung around the perimeter, and a 3 ball on the way. Lefty 3 is up and good. Nice shot by Allegri. Angelo Allegri, who had 62 threes coming into this game, so he's a big-time scorer. Allegri had 14 rebounds against the Hornets. Big rebounding night in the first matchup. 27-26. Eastern Washington with the lead. Hornets try to get it inside. It's knocked away. Eagles get the steal. So before that, before that last 3, the Hornets had taken the lead. 26-24. Just their second lead of the game. Now Eastern Washington with a shot from 10 feet. No good by Price, and the rebound on the floor, and a foul is going to be called. And it goes against Zach Chappelle. It's the 6th team foul against Sacramento. 3 team fouls so far for the Eagles. And now they're having to clean up the floor. 5:33 to go in the first half. Ball comes in from the baseline. With the ball into the game is Landek. First time I've called his name, Mason Landek, another freshman. A lot of young players on this Eagle team. He has orangey pink shoes on. We got some funny shoes out there. Some bright yellow and red ones look pretty good on the Eagles side. Don't match the uniform at all for Cleese, but Landek with the shockingly pink shoes. And one of the players, if we're getting his shoes, Allegri, who's a great player, his are kind of a super light purple. It just looks like he washed them. They were white, and he washed them with a new purple shirt or something, like a Weber State shirt. because they're very light purple. Here's a long three on the way, no good from out there by Fitzpatrick. Rare to see a Fitzpatrick miss from three in this game. That was his first one. Hopefully he doesn't start any trend. He's still 5 of 7 from beyond the arc so far. Eagles leading 27-26. Our wardrobe update, our shoe update, was brought to you by, we'll say it's brought to you by Rayleigh's. What the heck? Rayleigh's Superstores. So into the front court, it's Landek. Landek's from the state of Washington. Outside pass, now Landek drives into the paint. Oh, no look pass by Landek. That was a sweet pass. The look away pass, and Acleese gets the bucket. 29-26, points in the paint. Eastern Washington dominating in that zone. So now the Hornets get it over to the right wing. Chappelle drives, stops, and he gets called for the push-off on Landek. So the Eagles by 3 now will have a chance to get back up to 5 again. Eagles' largest lead was 5. Hornets' biggest lead was 2. So it's been a tight game throughout. Into the front court, Eagles with the rock. I never say that, but what the heck. Pull out all the stops here on the final home game. Allegri near side with the pass. Venters drops it. Ooh, fadeaway shot. Kind of a set shot. No good, too strong by the Eagles. Landek missed the shot, and then a loose ball foul called against the Eagles, and it goes against Allegri. Hornets have 7 team fouls, Eagles with 5, 4:01 to go in the half. And now Sacramento State could tie the game with a 3 on this trip. Fitzpatrick to Wilbon. Wilbon near to Chappelle. They need to get Komagum involved in the offense a little bit at least. Komagum, the Hornets center right now. Here comes Wilbon driving hard to the hoop. Wilbon has played aggressive in the last few games. He had a stretch where he was scoring really big. He had 13 in the first meeting between these teams. He had 15 against Idaho on aggressive play. 3-ball missed, and a rebound by Wilbon after the missed shot by Venters. Hornets have it back, trailing by just 1 with 3:18 to go in our first half. Wilbon drives in, goes with a shot. It looked like he got fouled. Fitzpatrick catches it. Can't imagine it was that big of a air ball. Here's Fitzpatrick with the fadeaway shot, so the Hornets score nonetheless. And now Sacramento State has taken the lead 30-29, just their 3rd lead of the game. 1 point advantage, their biggest lead was just 2. Eastern gets it in deep, and the Hornets but I'm impartial tonight here on ESPN+. Just want you to know that for you people up in Cheney, Washington, Spokane, that great area up there. One of the fastest airports in the country in Spokane. Very convenient. 30-30 is our score. Fowler takes the pass. Fowler backs his way in. He's going to face the double team because he's the big-time scorer for the Hornets on most nights. Now with just 7 on the clock, Fowler's going to have to gun one. He bombs up a 3, no good. Rebound controlled easily by the Eagles. 30-30 is our score. 30 for 30. 2:15 to go in the half. A rainbow 3, no good, but chasing down his own miss. The Eagles get the ball back, and that was Allegri. And now the Hornets commit a foul. The Hornets are in foul trouble. The Eagles only have 5. The Hornets have 8 team fouls, and that was the second person, or 9 team fouls. That's what I thought, but the board was slow. 9 team fouls for the Hornets. That'll bring in Elijah McCullough. He plays a lot for the Hornets, but he doesn't even average 1 point per game. He's from Chino Hills, California, but he does contribute in other ways, and the Hornets like his defense when he comes out there. So McCullough into the game for Sacramento State. Free throw, back rim, no good. It was a 1-and-1 because it was 9 team fouls, so Komagum gets the rebound, and the Hornets don't give up any points. Fowler has it, trying to break the tie, kicks it out. Here's Barrows the third with a high arcing 3, and this one's good. Rick Barrows the third with the rainbow 3, and the Hornets with their biggest lead of the night at 33-30. 1:52 to go in our first half. Now an entry pass in deep for Eastern Washington. The Hornets had done a good job defending that, but Ethan Price gets the easy bucket, and now it's 33-32 Sacramento. Price, The Price is Right tonight so far. He has 10 points in double figures. And now Fowler with it. Over to the right. McCullough. Fitzpatrick to Fowler, top of the key. Fowler works his way in, kicks it back out, and a 3-ball on the way. Fitzpatrick in and out. Whoa, that one squirted high in the air after rattling off the rim. And now the Eagles with a chance to take the lead with just 1:12 to go in our first half. Pass over to the right to Price. Price has it stolen on his pass effort. He was trying to get it to Allegri. Hornets get the steal. I told you McCullough would play some good defense, and he did there. And now the Hornets, with under a minute to go in the half, have the possession. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Brandon Laird up barking out the offensive instructions. High screen by Fitzpatrick. And a backdoor cut by Komagum. Gets his own rebound off the miss. And Komagum on in the world. And now Eastern Washington with 42 seconds to go on offense. 360 spin move all the way to the rack, and the bucket good by Bergerson. So he gets another bucket in the paint for Eastern Washington. 360 spin breaking down the Hornet defense, and now the Hornets lead is just 1 at 35-34. Chappelle for the Hornets. 15 on the shot clock. Eagles will get the ball back as there's a differential of 5 seconds. Chappelle goes around a screen, now 5 on the clock. Fitzpatrick has to launch up a long 3 and misses off the back rim. Rebound with 6 seconds to go. Plenty of time for the Eagles as they race into the front court with the ball. They stop, they fire a 3, good. Bottom of the net in front of their own bench. Left to right for me, right to left on TV. And we're underway. Second half action as Bergerson takes the pass. Up top for the Eagles. Drops it to the elbow. Now back outside the arc. Over to the left wing. Good defense by the Hornets, man-to-man defense by Sacramento State here. Start the second half. Ball swung all the way to the right. Now 10 on the shot clock. Lob entry pass is deflected by Wilbon, and I think it's Hornet ball because after Wilbon deflected it, I thought an Eagle did afterward, but no. It's still going to go to the Eagles with only 8 seconds on the shot clock. Ball entered from the baseline for Eastern Washington. Get it over to the corner, and a fadeaway lefty shot is no good short. Rebound by the Eagles, though, and the return shot is up and good. So nice job getting the rebound by Bergerson, and he got the return shot as well for Eastern Washington, and that puts the Eagles up 39-35. 4-point advantage, just one off their high of the game. Hornets get it out to the arc. Fitzpatrick, no good long with the 3. So he's missed a few now after getting off to a 5 of 6 start from 3-point range. Now 5 of 9. Eagles get it to the bucket, and they make it the second basket of the second half. And now Allegri is able to give the Eagles their biggest lead of the game. 41-35, 6-point advantage for Eastern Washington. Hornets come back with Fowler. Fowler underneath the hoop. Now comes back around it, goes up at the left and scores it. Bryce Fowler kind of glancing, hoping to get the foul call as well as the bucket, but didn't get it. So now the Hornets back to within 4. Eagles drop it in deep, and the Price is right. Ethan Price with another basket inside the paint. So Price with 12 points now on 5 of 7 shooting, but he's had easy ones. And now a whistle and a foul call goes against Bergerson. Rylan Bergerson with the first foul for either team in the second half. 18:23 to go. Fowler passes it in front of us to Chappelle. Chappelle on the S logo for the Hornets. Spread the floor. Chappelle to Fowler. Fowler open from 3 from the wing. Good. Bryce Fowler knocks down the 3. Fowler's been scoring most of his games over 20 points a game during league season. Averages 18 overall for the entire year. Here's a 3 coming back for the Eagles. No good. The follow and a foul over the back by Eastern Washington. Going for the rebound is going to go against Bergerson. His 3rd personal foul. He didn't like it. Had the good expression on his face, trying to get the officials to somehow change it 20 seconds later. Doesn't work, but human nature to try and get it to go. David Riley, the first-year head coach of Eastern Washington, doing a good job with this team. Young team for the Eagles, and they're still above 500 both in league and on the season. 3-point advantage for Eastern Washington. Wilbon takes it into the paint. Now a fadeaway shot on the rim and off, no good. Rebound to the Eagles. Eagles race up the floor with it. That's Allegri. Allegri around a screen, leaves it outside the arc. Touch pass over to the right corner. Good defense by the Hornets so far. 3 ball on the way and bottom of the net. Good by Venters. Steele Venters, one of the freshmen. Price is also a freshman in the starting lineup. And then Landick comes off the bench as a freshman. George, a sophomore. Jones, a freshman. The players that get the most action. A couple seniors on the starting lineup for the Eagles. Now here comes Fowler for the Hornets all the way to the rack, and he scores it. So Bryce Fowler, after the Eagles had regained a 6-point lead, which matched their biggest, Bryce Fowler gets the 2 for the Hornets. So he'll probably try and take over some of the scoring for Sacramento. 3 ball good again by Venters. So Venters is lighting it up from 3-point range. He had 71 3-pointers coming into this game. Eagles a very good 3-point shooting team. They lead 49-42. We're back after these messages from ESPN. A lot of time to go, though. 3 ball on the way and missed this time by Venters, who's been hot, but the Eagles steal the ball back and get the return shot up and good by Acleese. And Acleese hasn't been a big scorer in the game. Averages over 16 points a game, and that was just his second field goal of the game right there. He has 4. 13 for Venters, 12 for Price. Bergerson with 10 for the Eagles. Allegri has 9. Fitzpatrick for the Hornets. Backs into the paint, reverse pivot spin, lefty shot no good, ball back tapped, and the Eagles get it. Easily could have been a foul call on Fowler there, trying to bat the ball, but it controlled by Bergerson. The officials let it go. I like that. Fewer fouls the better as far as I'm concerned. I love that. And now Fitzpatrick, touch pass, dribble drive, all the way to the hoop by Chappelle, kicks it out to the 3-point arc. Barros, the third, drives hard to the rim, goes to the deck, but scoops in the layup, and that's good, 51-44. The Hornets had been down by 9 before that bucket, which was the biggest deficit, the new biggest deficit. Now a hook shot in close. Whoa, way off on the hook shot. Price did not get that to go, and now the Hornets have it, trying to cut into the Eagle lead even further. Chappelle stop and go. His shot is rejected out of bounds by Venters. Back to live action. It's Fowler with the ball. Fowler comes out to the wing. Brandon Laird pacing in front of us, hoping his offense can get going. The Hornets a very low-scoring team, but they also hold their opponents to low numbers. Eastern Washington a high-scoring team. Bombs away, no good off the front rim. Rebound pulled down by Venters. And now the Eagles with a chance to expand the lead. They lob it in deep, deflected away by the Hornets. Good defense by Sacramento State, tipped into the hands of Comagum. And now Barros III has his pass blocked, but he blocked it to Comagum, who delivers it back outside. So it was intended for Wilbon, but deflected by the Eagles to Comagum. Fitzpatrick near side to Wilbon on the left wing. Fowler goes to the elbow with the ball and stops and fires and scores it from 17 feet. Bryce Fowler with the jumper. His points are moving up here in the second half. He now has 16, and he has tied Fitzpatrick as the leading scorer in the game for either team. 51-46, a 5-point game now, but the Eagles have the lead in the ball. And a whistle and a foul against the Eagles. No, it's a 3-second violation in the paint for the Eagles. Gives it back to the Hornets. Sam Kirby, first-year assistant coach, up clapping for the Hornets, encouraging the squad. Nate Smith, assistant coach in his 11th year for the Hornets. A.J. Riding's been with the team for 13. Daniel Diaz, your trainer. Fitzpatrick to Wilbon. Wilbon tries to back in, goes strong, kicks it back out. Fitzpatrick bounces it back to Wilbon. 9 on the clock now. Wilbon again going in there. Goes up with a hook shot, gets fouled. The shot goes. Oh, nice shooter's touch. Wilbon is good at the post up, and for Hornet fans, he's just a sophomore. He's from Gary, Indiana. This is his first year playing for the Hornets, and when he wants to do that, when he goes for those strong post moves, kind of like an Adrian Dantley type situation if you're as old as I am, he's not that big at 6'5", 200 to be posting up, but he's very, very good at it, and he's very strong. Line drive free throw is good, so he gets the 3-point play. And this game suddenly is a 2-point game, so the Hornets have come back from a 9-point deficit and now trail by just 2. The bench and the coaches encouraging the Hornet defense as the Eagles try and get back into the rhythm that they started the second half with, where they built that biggest lead. Magnuson, number 55, is back in for the Eagles. In the paint, though, with the shot. No good. Hornets get the rebound. 2 players hit the deck, and I don't know who's going to get called for the foul. Komagum fell over the shooter. Let's take a peek and see who. Komagum knocked him over. Looking at the replay. Oh, it's a double foul. Bergerson picks up his 4th foul. So Rylan Bergerson probably didn't like that. He missed the shot, got tied up with Komagum. If you could give percentages on the foul, Komagum would have gotten the larger percentage, but instead it was a double foul. Now Bergerson has to go out of the game because he has 4. Coach wants to save him for later. Backdoor cut by the Hornets to Fowler, kicks it out. Wilbon had a 3 look but didn't take it. Instead drives in, gets it to Komagum, misses the dunk. Komagum did everything but put the ball between the rims, or the rim. Now an alley-oop or bullet pass. I thought it was going to be an alley-oop, but instead it was a bullet. Good thing Cleese was ready for the hot pass coming in, and he got fouled by the Hornets, and he'll go to the free throw line, I believe, as he... No, he didn't. He didn't get into the shooting motion. He was going to, but he didn't have time. So that's just a common foul, and the second foul for the Hornets here in the second half. 12:27 to go. 2-point game. Drive by the Eagles into the paint. Kick out pass, swing it to the left side. Dribble penetration underneath the basket. Up with the short layup. The shot no good. That one was missed by a Cleese, and the Hornets get the rebound to Wilbon front court. Wilbon wants to back in again. Here he goes. He's working against Allegri. And he gets into the paint. He gets in deep. He's going to be double teamed, but he goes up and over and he scores it. Wow, Wilbon's excited about that. So is the bench. Nate Smith, the most excited assistant. That just post-up move when you can just back someone down, and it just takes the will out of him. 51-51. Tie game. Dribble drive all the way to the hoop. Shot no good. Offensive rebound stolen away by Komagum after the missed shot by Magnuson. And the Hornets have the ball back with a chance to take the lead. Fitzpatrick for the Hornets. Clears it back outside. And the Hornets will set up the offense with 11:22 to go. So our final game of the year here at the Nest is going to come down to the wire. Here's a 3-ball by Wilbon, too strong, no good. So the post-up moves are working. The 3 does not go for Wilbon. And now the Eagles get the ball underneath the hoop and draw the foul. A flailing move by Casey Jones. He sold that one. Timeout on the floor, 11:03 to go. 51-51. Don't go away. We've got a tie game here from the Nest. You're watching and listening on ESPN. So at the free throw line as we come back will be Casey Jones, who really sold the foul call. And Jones will get 2 free throws. It was a shooting foul. Hornets have 3 team fouls. Eastern Washington with 4. Jones, a 64% free throw shooter, knocks down the first one smoothly. He now has 4 points. Jones fires the second. Good. So the 2 free throws give the Eagles a 2-point lead. Chappelle into the front court. Hornets average 65 points a game. The Eagles average 77. Komagum in the paint with the ball. Barros III with a 3. Yes, he knocks it down. Rick Barros III, who missed over 1,000 days with various serious injuries, is a freshman, still considered a freshman, after spending over 2 years waiting to heal. And he knocks down the 3. He has a few of them on the night. So as he now has 8 points, 2 3-pointers. And he gives the Hornets a 54-53 lead. Magnuson fires a pass over to the left corner. Dribble penetration, good pass to the bucket, shot no good. Wilbon gets called for the foul, and once again Ethan Price is right at the basket. So Wilbon picks up his 4th personal foul. That's now the board up here says 3, so I don't know if I'll look at the monitor as well. I'll give an update on that because it's important. It says 3 on my monitor. I heard 4, but there's 3 on the scoreboard also. So 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 people have 3 fouls. Team's 4th foul. There we go. How about that? So at the free throw line, Price getting ready to shoot his 2nd free throw. Second foul shot is good. 1 of 2 good for Price. And back into the game, Hugo Clarkin, the 7-footer for the Hornets. And we are tied at 54. So as we go into what would be the 4th quarter of the game, we are deadlocked. Chappelle standing on that Hornet logo as the Hornets spread the floor. 10 on the clock. The Hornets use time. Get it to Fitzpatrick, who doesn't take the 3. Instead, he drives strong to the hoop. His layup is no good. Wilbon can't get it to go. Clarkin knocks it out of there, but the Eagles end with it despite the tremendous effort by the Hornets. And a foul on Wilbon, and now he has 4, and now he has to come out. He's very mad at himself. He was trying so hard there, but he picked up his 4th foul, and Fowler has to check back in for the Hornets. So this game is so even that Wilbon, who's been playing great, has 4, and Bergerson has 4 for the Eagles. So even their foul trouble is matching each other. Oh, move by Price to the hoop, and he gets hacked by Clarkin, who fouls him. Shot never got close to making it, but it's a shooting foul, as that was one of the rare times tonight. Price has been taking passes inside on the low block. That time he made a quick move and drove from the top of the key, and Price goes back to the line, where he is 3 of 6 on the night. His first is no good. Whoa, it tried to get back in there. He missed it right off the front of the rim, rolled off the back of the rim, came back down on the side of it, was able to get there. So, second foul shot rattles it in. So he's Mr. 1 of 2 tonight. That's what he's doing, as he's 4 of 8 from the line. And the Eagles take a 1-point lead, 55-54, 9:23 to go. Chappelle for the Hornets outside the arc right, bounces it to Fowler. Fowler at the top of the key. Fowler to the elbow, Fowler with the fadeaway, good. Bryce Fowler, patented Bryce Fowler move. He could be in a costume. He could be wearing the Herky the Hornet costume or another mascot costume, and you'd know it was Bryce Fowler by that fadeaway. Oh, a block by Hugo Clarkin. Rejection of Price. Now coast to coast the other way and a rejection out of bounds. It'll still be Hornet ball as Casey Jones blocked it. But at the other side, the 7-footer for the Hornets, Hugo Clarkin, with a sweet block. And Eagles got away with a foul on the block shot there. They were fortunate on the follow-through, but the Hornets keep the possession nonetheless as it went out of bounds. Clarkin will pass it in, gets it into Barros. Oh, it's kicked away, and Brandon Laird yelled foul, but the Hornets steal the ball back. Fitzpatrick with it, wild action. Ball off the rim, glass tipped, and into the hands of the Eagles. It's wild. It's ragged and crazy out there right now. Over to the right. Both teams want this game very bad, and both in position to win it with 8:30 to go. Magnuson cut off. No open 3 look as the Hornet defense comes out to guard against the 3. The Eagles a great 3-point shooting team. Magnuson tries to throw it inside, and we're going to have a foul underneath, and it's going to be a Hornet foul. It's going to be Rick Barros III committing the foul. It's already 17 fouls for the Hornets, so it's the bonus for the Eagles. Actually, it's the 8th team foul. And so, hey, back to the line. Why do we even shoot here? Ethan Price is going to make 1 of 2, right? That's what he's done on each of his 4 trips to the line. 4 of 8, has 14 points. He leads the Eagles by 1 over Venters, who has 13. Fowler with 18. Fitzpatrick was 16 for Sacramento State. So, well, if I say he's going to make 1 out of 2, that means he makes the first one, because otherwise he doesn't get a second one. And he does. He makes the first one. I'm going to be pretty mad at him if he makes the second one, because then he ruins his whole theme. So, Ethan Price, leading scorer for the Eagles with 15. And he perfectly splashes the second free throw into the bottom of the net. And now he is officially a 60% free throw shooter on that one. And he's 69% for the year. Fowler for the Hornets. As Fowler drives inside, gets it back out. Chappelle into the paint, back out. Fitzpatrick to Chappelle. And a whistle in that category is that in Cheney, the Hornets drove into the paint more often than tonight. And tonight, the Eagles obviously doing a better job in the paint area, as illustrated by a 28-18 advantage in paint scoring for the Eagles. So Fowler with the righty shot, no good. Left it short, tried to poke away the missed shot, but couldn't get it. The Eagles have it. They lead it into the front court. Landek throws it out, and Fowler picks it off, threw it right to him. And now an open court foul by Venters. I don't know what Venters was thinking there. An open court foul by Venters. Komagum and Wilbon will come back in. Remember, Wilbon has 4 fouls, so he's in danger. And Barros III and Hugo Clark can come out after some aggressive and good work for Sacramento State. Mason Landek defending against Chappelle. Landek doing some nice sub work tonight. Venters now guarding Fowler, and kind of lucky call for the Hornets. The defender for the Eagles tripped over Komagum's foot and ended up fouling Fowler. And that's the 7th foul, so that sends Bryce to the free throw line. It happened right in front of me, and unless you had the angle I had, you wouldn't have realized why that foul was committed. He was knocked off balance, tripping. And now Fowler goes to the line and knocks in the first free throw. So Bryce Fowler, the leading scorer again, he's going to have another 20-point performance tonight. He had 23 on Thursday night against Idaho. 57-57 tie game after that bucket goes in. Second free throw knocked down by Bryce Fowler. So having a really strong performance again. 20 points for Fowler. He also has 5 assists in the game. Eastern Washington with the ball now trailing by 1. Lob entry pass in deep in the paint. Stripped away by Fowler, but then he lost it. Retrieved by Price, now knocked away again. Eastern gets it to the bucket and lays it in. Quick hands by the Eagles that time. Good job by Fowler, but the Eagles end up getting an easy bucket in the paint after their hands were quicker on the outlet to get the steal in the basket. But the Hornets did a good job of denying Price. Now the Eagles lead by 1, 59-58. Fowler gets it out to Chappelle, in for Komagum. Back out, Chappelle for 3, yes! Chappelle cans the 3, and the Hornets lead 61-59, 2-point advantage. A tense game here for both clubs. Venters over to the right. Cleese hasn't done a ton of scoring tonight. Bounce entry pass is stolen by Komagum. Little tie-up down low by Price. He couldn't get to the pass. Komagum gets it. The Hornets have the ball. Here's Fowler going into the paint. Stops, reverse pivot. Fadeaway shot, good. Oh, Fowler's getting hot here in the second half. He has knocking down all those threes. Made 5 of his first 6 in the first half. So 63-59. Hornets by 4, but the Eagles have the ball with just 6 minutes to go in the game. Price gives it up on the high post, trying to set screens. Now Price takes the pass. Running behind him, Bergerson. Trying to look for Bergerson, can't get him. Cleese back out. The Hornets playing great defense, only 7 on the shot clock, and the Eagles haven't had a taste. Oh, a terrible pass to Chappelle of the Hornets. Great interception. That was the best defense of the night. The Eagles had nothing. They had not even a wild shot that they could take. The Hornets were all over every Eagle player. 63-59, 5:27 to go. Hornets trying to expand on what is their biggest lead of the game. and it's only a 4-point lead. Chappelle from three. Yes, he knocks it down. Zach Chappelle with another three, and now the Hornets have really taken their biggest lead. 66-59, a 7-point advantage for the Hornets, but the Hornets get a reach-in foul. And so Chappelle with the reach, that stops the clock with 5:10 to go, and it also sends the Eagles back to the line. The other thing that's bad for the Hornets is if they commit one more foul, it's an automatic 2 shots for the Eagles. Bergerson goes to the line, a 77% free throw shooter. He's a good one. He's 1 of 2 on the night, and he has 10 points, and he misses the front end. And that's the last time the Eagles won't get 2 shots, and missing the front end of a 1-and-1 is a big deal, especially when there's only 5 minutes to go. The Hornets with their biggest advantage, a 7-point lead for Sacramento State. Chappelle holds it on the near side. He's made some key buckets here in the last few minutes. Fowler has it now. Fowler takes it toward the rim, gets cut off, kicks the pass back outside. Long ball on the way. Fitzpatrick can't get it to go. Komagum tries to tip it in, but can't get it to go as well. So the Hornets had 2 chances there, didn't get either one. And now the Eagles with the ball. 4:35 left. Great game. Price has it, drives hard to the basket, and Fitzpatrick fouls him. Probably a good foul. Fitzpatrick was outsized there by Price. Fitzpatrick at 6'3" had to try and guard Price, who is 6'10", going toward the bucket. So Price will get an automatic 2 shots here. He is the big free throw shooter on the night. How do you like this? Price is 6 of 10 from the line. The Hornets are 4 of 5. He has twice as many free throw attempts as the Hornet team. And his first is no good. Misses the front end of 2. 66-59. With 4:30 to go. Price spins the ball, fires his second, and knocks the second one down. So now he's 7 of 12 for the game from the foul stripe. Chappelle leaves it for Fowler. See what the Hornets do offensively here. It's been Chappelle hitting the threes as of late. Fowler has been a big scorer in the second half, doing what Fowler does, scoring in a diversity of ways. Chappelle backs up to the logo, near side Fitzpatrick, who's actually been cold since his hot start. Fitzpatrick gets it to Chappelle. Chappelle runs toward the basket, leaves it for Komagum, and he pushes it up and in with the right hand. A little push shot to make it 68-60. New biggest lead for the Hornets, an 8-point advantage for Sacramento State now with under 4 minutes to go. Set shot 3 on the way, no good. Hornets get the rebound. And again, that miss was by Acleese, who really hasn't been a scorer tonight. He only has 6. Drive to the bucket, and the basket good by Fowler. And the Hornets are kind of blowing this one open. They're up 70-60. Quite a stretch for Sacramento State after trailing most of the game. They've had a lot of leads, but they weren't big ones, and now they have their first 10-point lead of the game. The Eagles have never led by more than 9 in the ball game. Here's an entry pass in deep, and a foul by the Hornets. That stops the clock, and once again sends Price to the free throw line. 3:25 to go. Don't go away. 70-60. Sacramento State with a 10-point advantage, but the Eagles at the line when we come back on ESPN. A few of the key buckets. So with 3:25 to go and the Hornets building up their biggest lead of the game, we've had 13 lead changes in the game. We've been tied 6 times, and the first free throw no good by Price. If Price was having a great night at the line, he's a 69% free throw shooter, this game would be a lot closer since he's been there so frequently. He's 7 of 13, 8 of 14 now, 1 of 2. That's not terrible. 8 of 14, but that's 6 misses. 70-61, 3:20 to go in the game. Fowler for the Hornets. Fowler drives all the way to the basket, kicks it out to the arc, open look for Chappelle. It's big and it's good. Zach Chappelle has been the man here. He is coming on here, scoring these key threes late in the game. Drive toward the bucket, shot no good. Komagum, loses it out of bounds. Going for the big block effort. Komagum, such a fabulous shot blocker. Hornets lead 73-61. Unbelievable that the lead is up to 12 now. It just keeps growing and growing and growing for the Hornets. As Eastern Washington gets it in. at the arc over to the left side with just 2:55 left. Now 3-ball on the way, good. That was a big 3, that was game-changing. Allegri knocks it down. It was obviously Fowler scoring in big numbers for the Hornets, getting up to 24 points, but Chappelle hitting the breakaway threes late here that has given the Hornets a double-digit lead. And now that double-digit lead is down to 9 with 2:27 to go. Fowler has an opening, goes to the rim and scores it. He squirted between 2 Eagle defenders and puts the Hornets back up by double digits with 2:19 to go. Now the Eagles are in trouble right now. They're a good long-range shooting team. That's a 2. It's knocked down by Venters, but it is a 2, and that helps a lot because Venters is a fabulous three-point shooter. Came into the game with 71 of them on the year. But that's just a 2, making it 75-66, and that doesn't hurt the Hornets because now Eastern is allowing the Hornets to run the clock down. Fitzpatrick with the ball. The Hornets don't need points if they can use all the clock. And now Fowler goes in with the ball, reverses back the other way, gets it back outside. Fitzpatrick could put this one away and doesn't. He misses the 3. Rebound comes out to the Eagles, who are now very much alive, trailing by 9 with 1:35 to go if they get this 3, and they do. So the Eagles are right this year as they're 67%, but you never know how you're going to be in the big final home game of the year. The Hornets at least get it in, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it was that a turnover? I was blocked. In front of me, Brandon Laird stepped in front of me, so I didn't see what happened. Is that a turnover? Oh, okay, so they'll reset it as we get a 30-second timeout again. We'll keep it here. Let's take a look at that as the officials are going to review it. And Chappelle had it, and it was poked out of his hands. Eastern Washington saying it's there, and Chappelle saying, no, it was poked out of my hand. So the officials to our right here, Tom Spitznagel, Eric Boyce, and Nate Melson are taking a look at it. And Chris Rode is our official guy running the monitor here at courtside. Adam Primus next to him, the marketing director. Will Schilling, our PA announcer, sitting there with an interested eye as well. I have no view because the monitor's turned the other direction, but this is gigantic. Again, Fitzpatrick, an amazing three-point shooter, but if that 3 went down, which was close, again, it would have been a 15-point game with a minute and a half to go. And like I said, it probably would have been over, but instead he misses. Eastern gets the 3 to make it 75-66. And now, or 75-69, 6-point game. Got my numbers a little fouled up there. Apologize for that, but. And now as they come back out on the floor, this is tense now. Eastern Washington gets the ball. It was off of the Hornets. It was off of Chappelle. So now we've got ourselves a crazy ball game with 1:29 to go. Entry pass will come in for Venters. Venters looks. Venters gets it in. Venters at the three-point arc. Lobs up an arcing 3. No good. Barely hits the rim. And Komagum gets the rebound for the Hornets. That was big. Since the game's closer now, Eastern doesn't come up and foul right away. Instead, they double team. The Hornets break the press and get it to Chappelle in the front court. So that at least that helps the Hornets in a sense. And now we have Eastern Washington has won 3 of their last 4. So it would be an impressive accomplishment, but the Hornets are a long way from doing it right now. They've got to try and not turn the ball over here as the Eagles choose not to foul again. The Hornets get it out to Wilbon, so this is an interesting choice for the Eagles. 4 on the clock. Wilbon drives in, jumps up, and throws it back out to Chappelle. Misses the 3, but now we're down to 52 seconds to go with the Hornets leading by 6. Eastern Washington drives to the rack and slam dunk. The Hornets had no under. The Hornets 10-2. Hornets get it into Fowler. Fowler in trouble. Fowler gets rid of it. Gets it up to Wilbon. That's good. Wilbon needs to break the press. Wilbon in trouble. Jumps, passes, gets it to Komagum. Komagum gets it back over, and he's fouled first. Komagum's a good free throw shooter. Usually the center and a shot blocker like a Komagum, you would say, would be the guy that you'd foul, would be the center, just in basketball history. Wilt Chamberlain, remember, wasn't the greatest free throw shooter. Shaq wasn't the greatest free throw shooter. But Komagum has one of the highest percentages on the Hornet team. The Hornet team isn't that great free throw shooting, but Komagum 70% compared to the Hornets that are 67%. And right now, these are the biggest free throws for him. He only has 4 points. He's been more of a rebounder tonight with 8 rebounds. Knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1. How big is that? Komagum comes through. Eastern fans screamed right before he shot. It got completely quiet in the nest. Let's see if he can knock down the second one, as he's very patient up there. And the second one, back rim, no good. So it's a 5-point game with 36 seconds to go. Bergerson wants to take it all the way. Bergerson does take it all the way. Oh, the foul call as the Hornets try and poke the ball out right as he was going up to the bucket, and that's going to go against William Fitzpatrick. So good defense by Fitzpatrick all the way, and then tried to poke the ball out, but might have got a little piece of the hand there. And so now the clock stops with 31 seconds to go. And Bergerson is a good free throw shooter at 71%, but he's only 1 of 3 tonight, and he knocks down the first. So in basketball terms, a lot of time to go in this game. Now just a 4-point game. So again, the Hornets led 73-61. A 12-point advantage. And now 2 free throws good for Eastern Washington to make it a 3-point game, a 1-possession game. Hornets with it. Wow, this has just gotten so close. Entry pass in for the Hornets. Fitzpatrick brings it up. Fitzpatrick gets it into the front court, and he gets fouled. So the Hornets sense that lead with less than 3 minutes to go at 73-61. Hornets have just scored 3 points. Eastern Washington on a 12-3 run. And Fitzpatrick at the line, where he is 1 of 2 for the game. He has 16 points. His final performance at the nest, the super senior, with 25.7 seconds to go. Front end, good. Again, 9 team fouls for Eastern Washington, so he had to make that to earn the second. If the Hornets get fouled again after Eastern's possession, it'll be an automatic 2 shots the rest of the way. Second free throw, good. He knocks down 2 big free throws, 25 seconds to go. Entry pass comes all the way in for Eastern Washington before they touch it, and they're going to try and shoot quickly. They shoot a 3 from way out. It's no good. It was deflected. Fitzpatrick got the rebound and got fouled. Wilbon with the best play at the best time. Wilbon got a little piece of that shot on the 3-pointer, and the bench all gave him low 5s and high 5s to congratulate him. That was big, because Eastern has been shooting lights out here in the last 2 minutes of the game. And what was dramatic, as the game got to 76-73, is now 78-73 after the last 2 free throws by Fitzpatrick, and he can increase that. Still 19 seconds to go. These seconds are going off so slowly. Fitzpatrick gets the shooter's roll. That one came up short and hit off the rim and then curled over. Fitzpatrick now with 19 points. Fowler has 26 to lead the Hornets, so Fitzpatrick can get to 20 with this second free throw. And that one's perfect right in the middle. 18 seconds to go. Hornets up by 7. Eastern Washington has the ball. Hornets pressuring on defense, trying not to let the easy shot get away, but a 3 in and out. That was it. That was a heartbreak for Ventures. That one rattled around and out. If that one went down, it would have been a 4-point game. But since it's no good, the Hornets get the rebound, an immediate foul by the Eagles, and the Hornets go to the free throw line, and now the Hornets are going to win this game. You can finally say it. It felt like it when the Hornets were up 73-61. But then a 12-3 run with very little time going off the clock by a great effort by the Eastern Washington Eagles. And now Komagum goes to the free throw line for the Hornets to put it away. First free throw is good. 8-point lead by the Hornets with 8.8 seconds to go. Our seniors are going to come off for the Hornets. Hornets finally built a big enough lead to where William Fitzpatrick and Bryce Fowler can end their career on the home court. They still get to play on the road and in the tournament. They get to go to Montana, and then they get to go to the Big Sky Conference tournament, but their work here at the Nest is over. Comagum misses the second free throw, but the rebound to the Eagles. This will be the Eagles' last chance here. Up the floor, and the Hornets don't even defend. They let the Eagles go all the way to the bucket and put in the layup by Acleese. And now there's 1.7 seconds to go, and the Hornets